Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge with diversity training is to make sure that you're not reducing anybody down to a characteristic, and that you're not playing into assumptions, right? You know that sometimes I think, like I said, diversity training can mean, well, let's learn about Hmong culture, and then the assumption becomes all Hmong people are like this, right? Um, or that, you know, we're going to learn about Jewish religion, and then all Jewish people believe these things and behave in the same way, and that I think is pretty. It reduces people down to these categories, and we know that people are more complicated than that. That there within any group, there's going to be within group diversity, right? You know, you can be Jewish and not practicing. You can be Hmong and never have learned that language, right? And so, you know, I think my biggest concern with diversity training, and the way I think it gets most effectively used, is if you can somehow give whoever you're talking to a sense of the range of experiences people can have, and then some tools about how to interact with people who might be different than them, right? I don't know if you've ever seen, can't remember her name off the top of my head. She does the brown-eyed, blue-eyed pieces, yeah. And she does that kind of training for children all the way up through corporate CEO people, right? And she's got videotapes of all those different groups that she's done training with. I think that's really interesting. It's also very aggressive. It's a very aggressive kind of training. But I think what it's meant to point out to people is how those experiences, how difference impacts not just, you know, like, oh, you don't get an opportunity today, but then tomorrow when you look in the mirror, how are you going to feel about that? And what is it like to have every behavior you engage in turned into a negative trait, right? Oh, well, you know, you think you're so smart, right? Well, they're just so uppity. Or, you know, look here, these people aren't raising their hands. They're too dumb to know the answer. You know, whatever it is, no matter what choice you make, it's going to be the wrong choice because it gets turned into a negative trait. That's a powerful lesson for people to learn. So I think that's an interesting exercise. Or an interesting thing to show people, at least. But like I said, I think an important message would be, instead of just you know, treat people the way you would want to be treated, which is a good thing, to specify that a little more and say, you know, to treat people with some kindness and some grace and some gentleness, right? Because some, you know, people might be fragile and we don't know.